Welcome to the Late Night Charge. We're here with the General Manager of WNHU, Bruce Barber. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, in this beautiful new studio.
Isn't it lovely?
Oh, incredible. Look at this. Look at this.
It's great. So you're a new faculty member at the University of New Haven, but you've gotten a lot done within your year here. So tell me about yourself. What did you do before you came to the University of New Haven?
So I, for almost 18 years, was the crazy morning guy on WPLR in New Haven.
Okay.
And as time went along, I ended up having children, I guess a wife first and then children, and started feeling, kind of less like that crazy morning guy and more like a dad, and wanted to do something that was, maybe a little less, a little more down the kind of the center. So I started working as an independent producer for Connecticut Public Broadcasting, WNPR. Mm-hmm. And then, just over a year ago, I was approached about this job, and I really hadn't thought that much about teaching, but the more I thought about it and getting involved with running a college station, and the more I learned about the University of New Haven, I was just like, I am all in.
Yeah.
And it's been just such an amazing first year. I just love it here.
That's great. But your morning show was a hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did really well. It was myself and a guy named Brian Smith. Mm-hmm. And we were two guys with really the exact same sense of humor, but we were pretty different people.
Yeah.
And the show was just not planned really at all. We'd come in the morning and just take, we didn't have the internet then, so it was just the newspapers, and it was very topical and just talking about what was going on in the news and just kind of our perspective on what was happening.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So how do you find working at the University of New Haven different than a regular radio station?
I mean, so it's interesting. That's a great question, actually, because one of the things I'm trying to do is to make WNHU as much like a professional radio station as possible, so I can give the students the opportunity to see what it's like to work at a professional station and have that discipline and everything. The other piece of it is I want students to have a lot of creative freedom and be able to just try things. So a nice thing that's happening now is the fact that, and this has been the case here for some years now, but we have a stream, we have a studio, and it's just a dedicated online stream we call WNHU2. So that really enables students to just get in there, get their feet wet, and then hopefully move on to kind of the more professional environment.
Yeah. And what kind of changes have you tried to bring?
Well, so I think the most exciting thing that's happened so far is I arrived on campus, and very quickly I was approached about doing a fundraiser. Okay. And because the university had just gotten this great new crowdfunding platform. Yes. Called Make It Happen. So I was really nervous. I was, I just arrived here, and I didn't want to commit to a project that I couldn't be successful with. But I got a really good vibe about the people, and a sense that I would get the help I needed. So we set out to raise $9,000 to purchase Zeta, which is the professional automation software that professional stations use. So the evolution of radio has been, actually when radio first started, it was all live. You didn't even have high quality recording techniques. Then you had recorded music, and so you had vinyl, first tape, then vinyl. Then that went on for years, and then you had CDs, and now we're really in a digital environment. So radio stations, including ours, all run from a server, and it's all digital audio files. Yeah. And so you can run software that's either very inexpensive and kind of off-the-shelf stuff to run a station, but we wanted to upgrade to the software that the professional stations use, so that when University of New Haven students graduate, if they want to go into radio, they can walk into any station and say, I know how to do it.
Yeah, true experiential education.
True experiential education, exactly. And we were languishing at about 50% of our goal, and I was pretty nervous. And then we have an alum who has been so generous, Sam Bergamy and his wife Lois, have been phenomenally generous, and They wrote us a check to get us to our goal.
Nice.
And that was before they made their transformational gift to the University of New Haven, a commitment to get the new science facility built, so Science and Technology Center. So that just, I'll never forget the day I opened the letter from Sam and Lois, and there was a check in there for $5,000. And I was like, you know, and that to me represented the spirit of this community, which is everybody kind of contributing to do something great for the students.
Definitely.
So we literally just got the computer that has the new software installed on it, and we're going to be installing it and setting it up and using it at the radio station within the next few weeks. So
that's so exciting.
yeah, it's such a great story.
So how has it been, because you've been in the radio business for a really long time, watching the radio and music change? Like you said before, it was vinyls and cassettes, now CDs and digital. Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing, and that's what I'm really loving about this, and it's been kind of the thing I've been very lucky with in my career, is that I was doing that crazy morning show for so many years, and that was really, I wasn't that involved with the production. I was just kind of sitting there and trying to be clever, essentially. But after that, when I became an independent producer, I had to teach myself audio editing. I had to, you know, teach myself how to basically set up a workflow. And I've always been kind of a tech nerd, a geek, and I love all the toys. And so, but combining kind of my love for what was new with my knowledge of what was old, you know, we used to edit tape. When we edit an interview, we would edit by physically cutting tape.
Wow.
And now, you know, it's cut, thank goodness
it's all digital.
All digital and non-destructive editing. Oh, what I would have given for non-destructive editing back in the day. So I kind of bring that to the party, you know, that I know what it used to be like. I'm excited about what it is now. And then it's just, you combine those two things with working at students, because you guys are amazing. I mean, the students at this university are just phenomenal, and I'm just loving that.
Well, thank you. On behalf of all the students at the University of New Haven.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's deserved.
Do you teach at the university?
So the job description had teaching in it, and I arrived and I said, I really don't know how much of a project the radio station's going to be, so let's hold off on the teaching. Yeah. Which I did, and the radio station's been a project. It was a little disorganized. Yeah, but now I've got that 1-year anniversary under my belt, so I just committed to teaching a class in the fall, this coming fall of 17, and it will have something to do with essentially what we've been talking about, which is radio and convergent media, and I can't wait to get into the classroom.
I'm sure we have a bunch of students that can't wait either. So in your year here, what changes have you brought to the station as far as bringing the things you did in your morning show to the things that we're doing now? Yeah,
so and it's funny, I've just started to scratch the surface of that, and that's what I think is going to be really fun. To be honest with you, in the first year, a lot of what I've been dealing with is just kind of logistics. So the radio station has always been, it's the way it is now, which is, well, it actually has had an evolution. It started as a student club in 1973, eventually became part of the communication department, and they added that teaching component to it. And has always had this combination of students on the air and community volunteers. And so we have about 40 community volunteers that do everything from a polka show to we have gospel programming. We have a Haitian preacher who does his show in French on Saturday afternoons. So it's this really wonderfully diverse group of community volunteers, but it's 40 of them, and then anywhere between 80 and 100 students in a given year. So it's, you know, me, the only paid member of the staff there. We have a half-time engineer, and you're responsible for, you know, 130 volunteers.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's wonderful, but I haven't been able to kind of do a lot of the detail work, which is really taking kind of my on-air knowledge and working with students. It's really been just kind of logistics. So that's really kind of my next thing, is I'm really looking forward to kind of this year. I was like so excited. This was my first fall here. So I was like, anybody who wants to go on the FM, go ahead, get in there, go do it. And then afterwards I was kind of like, oh, maybe I pushed that along too quickly in my zeal. So it's great though, you know, the students that are on there, we're working with them, but I've told them this was kind of your, you know, your free chance to get on the FM. What we'll do next year is really bring people in, start them off on the stream, let them submit their shows. I'll kind of listen and work with them, and then either say, yeah, great, you're ready, or hey, you know, we should work on this a little bit, and then we'll get you ready. Or just, you know, spend some time on the stream and see where that takes you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. You know, it's beautiful. Your home is absolutely lovely
thank
here.
You.
Yeah.
And that's all the time we have today. Again, thank you. We hope to see you soon, and we hope to see you guys next week on Late Night Charge. Have a good night.